Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this Z fold card. Okay, stands up like that. Obviously you don't get a very good view from where my camera is, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm changing my colour scheme, and today I'm going to be using Peekaboo Peach, which is one of our new colours. So to start with, the card pieces you're going to need. Your card base is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres. Then you need a piece of Whisper White that measures 4 1/8 by 5 5/8 inches, and that's 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. Then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White, both of which measure 1 7/8 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 4.75 by 14.25 centimetres. And then you need some DSP. I'm going to use the spotted design, and this comes from the Designer Series paper stack for the 2016-2018 in colours. So that one measures 4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. And this one measures 1 3/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 4.5 by 14 centimetres. You will also need some Peekaboo Peach and some Whisper White to do the layering for the image and for the sentiment, and the Whisper White will be for the actual images and the sentiment. So the first thing we need to do is to score our card base. So I'm bringing my scoring board, and I am going to score this across the landscape direction. I'm going to score at 6 1/4 inches, which is 16 centimetres, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4 inches, which is 11 centimetres. That's all I need the scoring board for. And just fold the top one over. It is better if you use your bone folder to get a nice crease, and then turn it over and fold it back. Okay, so that's your Z fold. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is, I think we'll do our images. They're all going to be layered on there, and this one. Right, so the first image we do is this one here. The stamp set is Artistically Asian, and I'm using this stamp for this, and for the background on this one I've used the 2 symbols, and on this card I'm going to be using this. Before I go any further, I want to tell you about these 2 symbols. I had to ask because I didn't know whether they were just symbols or if they actually had a meaning, and they do have a meaning. And it was explained to me that if you look in the catalogue, that symbol there, which is like an upside down Y, that's next to friendship, and that's what it means. Okay, so that's friendship. This one here, which is more like a building, so that's like a church to me, and that's faith. I personally don't think that that was very obvious. Maybe it's just me having a blonde moment, I don't know. I do think that Stampin' Up could have done a bit more to help us out there. But I found out, and I've written on my stamp case so that I don't forget which is which. And the other thing, of course, is to pay attention when you're doing this to make sure that you do actually stamp them up the right way. You don't want those upside down. Right, so we will do the image first. Now I have actually already inked this up because there's quite a lot to it. I'm just going to go over the bits quickly to show you how I do this. So first of all, I use my marker pens and I'm going to use Crumb Cake, Mint Macaron and Peekaboo Peach. Now I start off with the Crumb Cake. Let me bring this in so you can see the picture, see the image. Now with the soil, I assume it's soil, down at the bottom here, there is no actual definitive line on the stamp. Can you see how that just merges together? It's up to you to decide where your separation is going to be. And the good thing is, once you've painted your Crumb Cake on there, you can actually see the colour. So when you want to do your green, it's quite easy to see where your Crumb Cake is. I mean, obviously it doesn't show as Crumb Cake, but you can see that that has been painted. It's like the flowers, you can see that they've been done. You can't see it's Peekaboo Peach, but you know they're done. You know they're there. Okay, so what I do is, with my brush laying down, I just go over like this, and when I go as far as I think I need to go, let me bring this up a bit. If I rest on my elbows, I should be able to do this without falling over. Okay, and I just go up to the lines there. When I feel that I've done enough, that was a little bit of a jerk because I'm resting on my elbows, but never mind, I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so that's all I do with that. And then once I'm happy with that one, I will take a scrap of paper, because I've already painted on mine, just in case I'd got another colour on here. So the next colour is Mint Macaron. Now this one's not quite so easy, but I start off with my pen laying down again, and I go down as far as the brown bits. Now there's bound to be a little bit of overlap here, but that's fine. I'd rather have a little overlap rather than finish up with white gaps there. Okay, so I've done that little bit there. I'm going to clean my brush again just in case, and now the rest I'm going to paint all over. Okay, I'm not being too careful here because, as I say, I've already painted it all. But what I do watch out for, as I come past the flowers, I go very carefully not to actually get my green onto where I'm going to be putting orange. Okay, so if you imagine that I've gone through very carefully, painting all of my leaves and my stems. Now if we just imagine that as I've gone round there, I've got some green. In fact, let's do it. Okay, so I've got some green on a flower there. Now I really don't want that there, so the way to get rid of it, the way to correct that, go and clean that because there was orange Peekaboo Peach on there. I take one of our blender pens and I use the tip of my pen just to clean off that green. Okay, and I wipe that on there. You can see where I've picked up the green. Just tip this towards me a moment, and then I'm going round the edge to pick up any more that's on there. Okay, so that's how you clean up if you get a colour in the wrong place. It doesn't matter which colour you do that you get in the wrong place, it can be cleaned up like this. Right, so I've taken Peekaboo Peach off of my flower, so let's pop that back on again. Okay, so just imagine I've been over and painted all my orange flowers again. Now I'm going to huff on this to stamp it down because obviously takes, even if I had started from beginning and gone right to the end with you sitting watching me, this will still have dried and would still need to be huffed on to moisten it again to stamp it. So excuse me while I huff on this. And then just stamp it down. And give it a nice press. I hope that was enough of a huff. If you've ever seen me doing this technique before, you know that I don't like huffing on stamps. There we go. So let me give you a close-up view of that. So you see how the green just merges in with the brown? It's almost like there was a definitive line there, but there isn't. You see how lovely those flowers come out as well. It's a beautiful stamp. Really, really totally in love with the whole stamp set on this one. Right, so that's done. I'm going to do the birthday greetings, which is from the Wetlands stamp set. Now again, if you saw a card that I was doing, I think it was right at the beginning of June, it was the Sitting Here with the Cat. I used this stamp set and that sentiment, but I had to use retired punches, an oval punch and a scalloped oval punch, because I was still waiting for my dies to come in, and I made the comment, I wonder if this will still fit the new dies, and I'm really pleased to say yes, it does. So I'm very happy about that. So the stamp is this one, and I'm going to do, what shall I do? I think I'm going to do the greetings in Crumb Cake, and I'll do the birthday in the same colour as the flowers, so that's Peekaboo Peach. In fact, I'll do the Crumb Cake first, because that's the little one at the bottom. I have to say, this is one of the techniques I really like. Painting the stamp so that you can get more than one colour on there. So then I'll do the, even though I don't like huffing, yes I know. So we do the top in Peekaboo Peach. Going right close down the edge there. Again, if you did get the wrong colour in the wrong place, you can sort it out with your blender pen as before. Right, so let's turn that sideways. I shouldn't need huffing, but I will do. There we go, lovely. So that's those two. Now, the other part, this, when I was doing my video showing the goodies I got from the new catalogue, I made the comment that if you bought the designer series paper stacks for the individual colour families, you wouldn't really need to buy any DSP. But later I was thinking, well, I think I'd probably get fed up with the 4 designs. I mean, they're nice designs. We have the writing, the spots, we got a stripy one, and we got some script. And I was thinking about that, and I thought, well, you can always change your DSP or improve it. Not improve it, add to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm using this stamp, which again is from the Artistically Asian stamp set, it's this one, and I'm going to stamp it in Crumb Cake. Here we go. Not sure whether I should be using a bit of a darker colour actually. I think what I'll do is I'm going to test a bit on the back just to see whether this is dark enough, because the Peekaboo Peach is quite dark itself. So let's see what this comes up like, see if I'm happy. Oh yes, that's good. I like that. Right, so what I'm doing is I'm lining my two pieces of DSP together. I'm not trying to line them up, I don't think. It looks as if that's where they go. So what I do is I will put these together in case there's an overlap. Right, so the first one I'm going to do it so that this piece here comes up over the top very, very fractionally, and I'm going to make the side piece come off here because I'd like to make sure that I get another piece of the design down here. Okay, so let's see what happens. I have used this one before and I will show you at the end. Unless you saw my blog today, I did put it on there. Right, okay. There we go, that's lovely. Like that, definitely, definitely like that. So the next one I'm going to fit in like that. That's it. And then again. And then this one. As you can see, I'm not being overly fussy with this. And that comes off about there. There we go, so that will be nice. I've missed a little bit there, but that will probably be covered up with a sentiment or something. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to carry on with this piece. Oops. Don't have to. Oh, that's alright. I thought I'd put the paper, my stamp down, and I thought I'd slid across the paper. Right. Have another one up here. And I think we just get a little bit on the top here as well. There we go. So that makes it look a lot more interesting than just having spots on this. What do you think? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put all of these layers together. And as you know, I do like to use my Tombow for this. So let's start off with the Whisper White sheets. That one. The one in this one, I don't put anything on top of it because I like to leave something for a sentiment. There we go, that's that one. The last one. And now these pieces. Don't put it upside down. was close. Good job I was paying attention to what I was doing. Well, at least at the last moment I was paying attention. There we go. So that looks nice, doesn't it? Pleased with that. Right, the next thing I need to do is to die cut the sentiment, the image and the layers. So I'll bring my Big Shot up. Right, so first of all, I'm going to use my layering circle framelits and my layering oval framelits, which I have here. So the way I label my dies on this kind, because they all layer one on top of the other, although you can't store them like that because the sizes are so close, I label mine as this one, for example. That should be in there. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I do the same with these as well. So what I'm going to use is number 1 of that one, and of these two for the Peekaboo Peach I'm using numbers 1 and 2. Okay, so I'll do that bit in a minute. I'll concentrate on the images first. And then exactly the same for the ovals. So I've marked those, and this is number 7. That's for that one. And then for the 2 scallops, these are numbers 7 and 8. Okay, so let's do this one first. And the way I line this up is I'm going to lose a bit of the soil down here because I want these leaves to come towards the edge of the circle. I don't want them touching the circle. So as long as I've got grass, soil left here, that's fine. I don't mind losing the edges. And then this one just goes in straight. Now this you may have to move a bit because it's so small, it does sometimes tend to jump. Okay, so that curvy bit there and that curvy bit just about come to the edge. They don't touch, but they would just really come to the edge. So once you're happy with those, so there's that and that. Let's put that one there, that there, so I don't need the white anymore. So this is what my image looks like, and that's what my sentiment looks like. Okay, now I'm going to do these, and I've already tested out the measurements here, which I'm okay with as long as they don't start jumping. These 2 pieces will fit onto here, and the reason this works is because the actual cutting edge is by the scalloped bits, and that's pulling, so it might not let me do it now. I didn't test it on magnets before. Oh, yep, no, that's fine, that'll work. And then one of these and one of these. when you do this, just make sure these little ones don't jump. The reason these are sticking to my cutting mat is because I haven't removed the glue from the back of them yet. I will get round to it one day. Okay, so there's my 2 pieces there. Look how delicate those little scallops are on there. Aren't they lovely? I think it cuts really nicely as well. It's got that little curved edge. You know how it all curves downward? I think it's so nice. And then of course I layer mine 2 together like that. Gives such a lovely effect. Right, so let me get those out of the way, and that I will sort out later, and I can move this. So let's get all of these adhered together. Use my tweezers. Now this one, it comes quite close to the edge, although not quite as close as the circle one does. And then we do this one. Now the actual image. See how close that is? Just got those little like baby scallops peeping through. Although punches are a lot quicker, I think the effect you get with these dies is lovely. Okay, so that's that. Now before I adhere these to my card, I just use a white gel pen and I go round and put just a white dot on the outside of each scallop. This is like an alternative to paper piercing. These scallops are very small, and I'm not quite sure how they would react to paper piercing. That's something for me on my list to check out. I'll give it a try, find out if it is too small. My concern is that if I put the paper piercer in, it may actually break the paper. It's got to be so in the middle that I don't know whether the effort is going to be stressful. I mean, putting the little white dots on it is fine. That's really nice and easy. And relatively quick as well. It's always, to me, it's always the, oops, talking too much, it's always these little extra details that make a card stand out, I think. I don't know if I'm going to be forever double layering things or not, or whether it's a novelty that's going to wear off, but I love it at the moment. There we go. Let me turn that sideways, you can't see that way. Okay, so double layered and also with the white dots on it. So all I need to do now is to adhere these on here, and what I do is, because this is about the 4th card I've made like this, sometimes I put the image up and the sentiment down, and I think really it depends on what the bamboo looks like in the background, and I think I'm definitely going to have it this way round because I like that effect. Okay, now what I do is I just place these on here to get an idea of positioning, and oh no, I can't do that, can I? Because I've got that where I missed it. I've got to cover that up. Oh well, never mind. Sorry, I interrupted myself there to quite a lot. Right, what I'm going to say is I try and get the same sort of gap there as there, but leaving a decent gap in the middle. And once I'm happy that I've got that spacing right, then I try and make sure that that's about the same as that. Okay, that looks about right to me. So what I do is I take a pencil and I just do a little pencil mark there and a pencil mark there, so that I can pick this up, use my pencil at the back. Okay, so I know that that's where my glue is going to go, and again pencil at the back there. And when you do this, make sure you put the glue on the right part. So it's this piece here. Okay, so I can still see where my pencil marks are, so I can get those into position. I'll use my eraser on those later. Okay, no glue coming through there, that's good. And I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. Get this in position, get this gap the same as whatever gap I finished up with there, and then make sure that this is about the same as that. It should be centered under here as well, if I've got it right. So that looks about it. So again, pencil mark, and pencil mark at the back there, and put my finger where it is, pencil mark at the back there. I mean, you could erase your pencil marks now, but then you're not quite sure where you're going to be putting it on there. I think this is one of those things that once you've done it, you'll make up your own mind how you prefer to do it. So I'm going to pop that down like that, just watching my gap up there and my gap here. Make sure I've got that straight as well. There we go. Pop that there. So there is my card. You think that's really lovely? Let me bring this back up to you a bit. I'm just so pleased with that. So there's that one. That's the one that I showed you at the beginning. This is the one that I put on my blog this morning. And the colour that I used here, this was soft suede. The green is Emerald Envy, and the pinky colour is Sweet Sugar Plum. So that's two of our new colours, the Sweet Sugar Plum and the Emerald Envy. And the other one that I did was this one, and this is Flirty Flamingo. The green is Wild Wasabi. This is Crumb Cake, and that is it. So what I've tried to do here is I've tried to use different designs of the DSP. I didn't do the flowery one because I don't really think that would work with this. And this one I did tone on tone, so I used the Flirty Flamingo, and I decided that I wasn't particularly happy with that one. I don't know what you think about that, whether you think that works or not. I mean, it's okay. It's okay, but I do prefer the coloured ones. Okay, and sometimes I've done like the same colours all the way through, maybe the colour of the leaves or the colours of the flowers, and this one I actually changed the colour in here. But they all got the dots. So there you go. Many thanks for watching my video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you give this a try. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm always very happy to help. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button, which I believe is below now. And if you'd like to buy any of the products that I've featured here, please click on the 24/7 link that is definitely below in the box. That'll take you straight to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks for joining me today. Oh, by the way, the other thing is, I knew there was something. I will put all the measurements and the products on screen, but depending on what you are watching this on, you may not be able to see them, so they will be in the box below for you. So it's all nice and handy. So there we go. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.